What's up guys, it is that Panda Guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be looking through matchmaking, but this is going to be kind of a blab video, okay? Because I've been thinking about some stuff, right, about like the fights I record, and for instance, I was recording one, or not recording, I was editing one, and I have this one from Genesis War. It was G1, it was the like Apex versus HMB, I think it was, because they were merging HMB for that event, and honestly, I was just I mean the fight looks cool in a way, right? And obviously there's a lot of fun with whale fights in some regards, but honestly I just find it less entertaining to watch a fight where you have like 500 blurry freaking marches that have to be optimized on the map compared to, let's say, G5 or G10, where the fights are kind of more intense. There's a lot more strategy generally involved instead of just brute forcing. And I don't know, would you guys prefer I just find like a smaller brackets for some of these events and record those instead? You know, I obviously sometimes record my own to upload, but otherwise, like, what would you guys like to see, honestly? Like, would you still prefer to see G1 fights, or do you think that would be good? And if that is the case, maybe drop a comment and tell me your bracket, if your bracket you think is going to be a really close fight. Don't lie to me though, okay? I might be streaming tomorrow. Or I'll try to. What I'm planning to do is, and just for instance, right, I'm going to be looking through brackets, and we can probably do a watch party if you guys are interested in that. Like if G1, for example, Crimson built into this zone and Jade built into this zone, and we can just watch some fights. We can kind of go through some brackets. I mean, these fights usually happen on the first day or two, generally, usually on like the second day, and sometimes the third day, and then usually not the other days, you know. So maybe if you guys are interested in watching some of those, and we can just stream, and we can, you know, I'll interact with the chat, and we can just kind of have a little bit of fun. That would maybe be a cool, you know, stream to do if you guys are interested in that. I did just take up like a minute or two there though, so now we can kind of look through these brackets. I will say I didn't do like a big overview of these brackets. I didn't really look through them. I'm kind of just here to chat, you know. We're kind of just here to do the video. I don't really care all that much about doing this bracket review this time around, to be honest. You might be like, what the heck, Panda, why are you doing it then? But you know, I did want to just kind of get that off my chest, and we can kind of just run through here and look at these and just have a little bit of fun with it. All right, so in G1, we do have the big Whale Alliance ROK. They are at 33 billion right now, but they registered, I believe, at 35, maybe even 36 billion might for this event. So they went in freaking packing. You do have MD71 as well. So you obviously have some other good alliances here that have some whale power, who, you know, if they need multiple rallies, they can get multiple rallies up on a tower. You have MDMG. I'm pretty sure I've seen these guys, and they have a, yeah, this guy's a pretty big whale. You know, they have some good rally captains. I will say, I do think that gold is more likely to win, because I just think fighting a mega merge like ROK at 35 billion, and you can argue with me, hey, SSI is at 25 billion and they have these other alliances, but you also got to understand the fact that the stronger an alliance gets, the harder it is to get even bigger, you know, and there's a reason behind that. And the, you know, I think like a 35 billion alliance is 3 times more intimidating than a 25 billion might alliance. And don't get me wrong, SSI is insane. These guys, I'm pretty sure, like, have been sitting at this might for quite a while now, so I don't know if this is even like considered a merger at this point, but they are actually really strong. I gotta give SSI props for that. Plus they actually have some really strong alliances, and I'd argue, actually no, there's not even an argument here, they are stronger than the allies that Golden has, you know, ROK might have. So in this case they have OHOM, and I wouldn't say Oham, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I wouldn't say they're like some necessarily insanely strong group, but they do have Yuna. I've played against Yuna. She is an absolute beast. They do have UUU. I'm not like super familiar with these guys, but I did see some familiar faces like this guy from BTW. Probably left in the past. You have some Lion guys here. Either way, they have some really strong hitters. So when it comes down to running multiple rallies, this will be kind of more so in, I feel like, Jade's favor, with having much more max gear players. Even UOD here, who have a lot of heavy hitters, and like honestly, these guys are absolute beasts as well. So I will say, in any case, they probably will give ROK a really good fight. So I will say that much. I'm not 100% sure if like if ROK will win though. I'm pretty certain that the ROK side will end up winning. I just think that for Jade, it's going to be very hard to kind of overcome that insanely massive whale wall, because when it comes down to having insane amounts of whale power, it's going to be in Golden's favor, and they're just going to have too much manpower in the field, I feel like. And I could be proven wrong. I actually want to be proven wrong so we can actually see an insanely close G1 fight, but we haven't seen anything very close in quite a while. That being said, let's go to Azure, and actually I'm very familiar with IC8. These guys are heavy hitters. They're always in Elite Warzone because they register like just under enough might, and they have so many freaking heavy hitters that it's insane. Like this dude, I know his armaments are around 7 million might, and they have multiple players who are just kind of at a similar playing scale. So when it comes to rallies, I already know they can rely on these groups, and honestly, a lot of these groups are kind of stacked. You do have like Captain Tony, you have the Shy here, really good fighters, really good rally leaders and stuff. You have, I don't even know, like I didn't even actually expect they'd be so stacked in G1. Mr. Specs, really good rally lead. 59E. I guess they have Apes leader. I was thinking of the other group. I was like, what the heck? 59 whatnot is here, but no. That might be like 59. Oh, sorry, that's 59 in. What? I'm not super familiar with this group. Oh yeah. This guy, he has like some really crazy armaments, I'm pretty sure. Like, I've seen his thing in Arena, and I didn't think he'd be as strong as he was. He was like 65 million might in Arena, so he was pretty jacked. I will say, like, overall, this does look like it's going to be a tough fight. It actually looks like Crimson might be the weaker Legion, at least in regards of whales. I see Soar already here. I know they don't have any like crazy whale power and like gear wise, and that's what always matters, guys. You know, like it doesn't matter how strong your players are. If you don't have the stats, it doesn't matter. This might be a heavy hitter. I mean, I don't see Crimson matching up as an ally like Azure. Honestly, whoever gets Azure looks like they might be at an advantage. They do have Avis here, but I don't think that they're enough to kind of carry this Legion. I just think like I'm familiar with Spec, you know, pretty good fighters actually, but not enough whale power. G3R, good fighters, but not enough whale power, you know? Like they have T6 numbers, but that's literally all these groups can do. And I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. We're generally the same. I would say like the only difference with like Prime right now is we have Big Daddy, and otherwise we're literally in the same exact boat as the rest of these groups, you know? I don't even know how we're on the main Legion right now. So we're in G2 right now, and I already know we're gonna lose. Like this is super predetermined. We have NM49, and actually I can look at this on my battle overview. I wish I could do this with every single bracket, but you can only do it with your bracket, the map overview, you know. So we have NM49 here at like 7.5 billion. Not sure what they registered at, but they do have some heavy whales like Coco. Coco's an absolute beast. I would say like that's the main one. I don't know if like yes thank yous here or not. This is his alt. But Coco's an absolute monster. I know he's like really tough, so as like a rally leader or garrison captain, he's, you know, obviously going to be our best bet if we're coming down to like, if we decide to hold a checkpoint or something per se, right? We do have Evil, and Evil's actually a really amazing group, 17 billion might. Really good for management. I actually got them one last AR, and honestly, I kind of didn't like getting them simply because I mean it was good. They were really good allies. They were great at like management, and I really liked that because I didn't have to do markers for once. But in that regard, it's just like I haven't had a good fight for at least I would say 3 months, maybe 4 months now. It's either one-sided on our regard, which it was, right? It was super one-sided for us, and we just, you know, won too easily, or it's one-sided on the other side, right? Whereas we're getting beaten like dogs, and we just, you know, kind of come in knowing that's going to be kind of the case, right? And that's kind of the case here. I mean, Evil's obviously at 17 billion might, but there's just not enough here to kind of compete with like Apex's merger, right? Because I think they came in they're probably at like 28 billion or something like that. Hats, another really good group, 12 billion. And then you have Prime. We registered at like 5 to 6 billion, probably like 5.7, 5.8 billion maybe. But that's clearly not enough to really compete. We do have Big Daddy here. I mean, literally, we don't have like a ton of manpower here, realistically, right? We got like, you know, T6 hitters, but Big Daddy's kind of our biggest crutch here. He's just like a rally leader, garrison captain. good field fighter, but we can't really pull a lot of our weight. Honestly, it would have made more sense for us to be one of the side legions in that regard. But I guess maybe Big Daddy has all that pull weight, because having a whale like that can be the difference between a win or a loss. But in this case, there's just no chance we're winning this. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. So for Jade, we have EXEO, pretty good fighters. Obviously, not like a big whale group either. When it comes to whales, you have Mass. Actually, a really good group. We fought against them before as well. Too Hot, also kind of the same. We also fought against them. I wouldn't say they have like tons of whale power. Like, they do have like I haven't seen Dr. Deathscare. I know he was a bit of a fighter. Yadek, but Yadek is kind of like, I feel like she's not super active. You know what I mean? But even then, Apex alone can probably just solo our Legion, if I'm going to be honest. So this is kind of a perilous situation. They got so many freaking heavy hitters here that it is literally an impossible fight. And, I mean, we do have Azure as an ally here. I mean, H&B, I'm pretty sure they registered at like 6-7 billion maybe even lower. I don't even know what they registered at. But all their heavy hitters, besides maybe like Jessica, you know what I mean, are in... are okay. So, we are definitely losing this one. We'd have like Mine. I know Mine's actually got some pretty good players like Zero. And that was like someone from LAS. I forget the name. Saya. That was her account, I think. So, it's a strong account, but one player alone is not going to carry against a group like this. And, I'm not even going to do a big review here. I mean, you have Crimson obviously over here, who are probably going to end up going with Jade. I'm so sorry, my freaking throat's getting gravelly. They're going to go with Jade, obviously. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care all that much for this time, right? I'm probably going to come in, get some points, and I'm just going to dip. I told my players if anybody gets zeroed, they are 99% chance of them getting kicked out of the alliance, because there's absolutely no reason we should get anybody zeroed after I've literally told my players explicitly, hey, we're 100% going to lose this battle. I swear to God, if you get caught outside of the safe zone and zeroed, you were gone, and it actually pisses me off. Especially in a fight like this where you're gonna lose. It's like, how do you get zeroed? You know what I mean? Like, literally, how do you get zeroed? I can warn them all week and someone's gonna get themselves zeroed, and it's like, dude, if you're gonna be dead weight or you're gonna just be stupid like that, you're getting kicked, right? And it might seem a little bit ruthless, but honestly, that you got to be cutthroat if you want a pretty good group of players. And it really does aggravate me when I have players get zeroed like that, So we did tell people that, or I sent out a mail saying that. So if someone gets zeroed, I'm gonna absolutely lose my mind. G3, I haven't actually looked over this, but we do have 59E here, so you already know that they're gonna be heavy hitters. I mean, 59E has been freaking going ham when I think about it. Like when it comes to whales, I swear, man. Like they built up a really good group, and I always actually respected 59E way before this, but honestly, they've just become a really heavy hitter group now that it's like, dude, there is no... I mean, there's obviously competing with them if you're another whale group, but there's no kind of matching the firepower that these guys have, or like the spirit, because I remember when it was like Dr. Jerko or whatever, and he was like the main fighter here with like one other, I forget who else it was, and they were like, it was a much smaller group, maybe like 7 billion, 8 billion, and these guys, if they were fighting H&B, if they were fighting Boone, whatever the case, they would give it their all. I mean, like, it was literally an obvious loss, and they would still give it their all, just kind of fighting the losing battle. And honestly, I just have so much respect for them. Every time I kind of see them fight, they're like, I'm like a low-key cheerleader. Like, I kind of glaze them every time I do a video talking about it. Yeah, okay, well, we have SMHS. I don't know if SMHS has kind of picked up. I mean, I guess they have. Yeah, I mean, if you guys know the history with SMHS, you know I don't love them, but, I mean, it's kind of hard to hold past grudges against these guys over something their predecessors did. Riles here, we did fight them. I mean, not much of a fight. They freaking clapped us. We were in, Elite, and they just have like a ton of freaking warriors. They do have like obviously really strong fighters, so in well regards, they're pretty stacked. They show us 12 billion here though, and they have only 7 billion, so I'm wondering if they're missing some players who actually registered with them, or if they're just being overevaluated. You do have HLU in. I think the issue is really going to be T6 power though. I'm actually looking at this and I don't know if they're beating 59E. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's gonna be some like, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna beat 59E now. I'm actually kind of surprised. I mean, they have Axe here at 5 billion? Oh my gosh, I thought they were like 13 billion before or something like that, or 11 billion. Why now I'm actually confused. This one looks kind of one-sided as well. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. All right, well, I mean, I guess one of these side legions can kind of change it up. Maybe some people are just gone for Pompey or something. That's always a possibility. I don't know. I do actually have Pompey soon in like 30 minutes, so I'm gonna end this video off on this bracket. I mean, you do have some heavy hitters though. You have Chev. I know they have Thick One. They have like Warrock. He's a pretty big whale. Whales literally are everything. I know I like do this so much, but dude, if you do not have whales, you are not surviving in like a G1 bracket or a G2 bracket. You know, the difference is just too much. All right, you can have all the T6 in the world. Um, like we could literally fight a 10 billion mite group as a 5 billion mite in prime, and we might not be able to fight on the field, but you know what we could do? We could just crutch on Big Daddy all day, every day. You know, we could literally just sit up at a tower and be like, hey, you guys don't have a single well in your alliance, you just have a ton of T6. You can dominate the field, but what else, you know, is there for you to really do, right? We send a rally, they swarm the rally, we get really good trades, we defend our tower, easy trades, obviously. You know, it's like wells matter literally so much. Like having that well difference is everything, you know. And if you don't have those players, you're absolutely screwed. So I don't know. I'm not really very interested in honestly looking at G3 now that I've seen this. I mean, there are some really good like strong groups on the side. I'm just kind of confused why Jade is here, and I don't know if they're just being over evaluated or people are missing from for Pompey or something. But they don't have that same power that 59E has right now. Like these guys are literally at 17 billion, maybe stronger if some more players return or something, and they just have so much freaking manpower. So when it comes to field control, I don't see them being beat. And then when it comes to rallies, they're probably going to absolutely clumper one of these teams, you know. So I'm honestly super confused about that right now. Um, that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I did say at the beginning, if you have any good brackets that you would recommend me checking out, do drop it in the comments section. I do plan to stream, like I said, as long as my internet's not bad, obviously, because I've had some internet problems recently. But as long as my internet problems are not bad, I do plan to stream. So maybe I'll check out those brackets. If there are some early fights, maybe, you know, maybe you can drop that in the comments as well, and I can always check those out. Because, you know, like I said, I just want to kind of do a little watch party, interact with the viewers. It would be kind of a nice stream because I haven't streamed for like a year. The last one I did was like in really old island raid before archipelago raid existed. um, and I feel like my setup was even worse then. So obviously I like had a much harder time at making sure my stream didn't look kind of funky, you know what I mean? That being said, I do appreciate you guys though for watching as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. That is really about it to the video, and yeah, peace out.